Following Rangers and Hearts in Europe with all the reaction here on Independence Live.
There we go. Very good evening to you. Welcome back to the locker room on Independence Live. Joined by Graham as always. Get your comments coming in. Graham's got a smile on his face. No, it's not because he's back in the show. Just me and him. It's maybe 11. I don't know. But Hearts won tonight. Hearts won by 2-0, 2 wins out of 2, 6 points for Hearts, and one game away, or a few games away for qualifying for the triangle first. We'll talk about that as well later on. And the game just finished at Ibrox. It was Rangers 4, FC SB 0, and I can't believe a football team it's made up by letters. Just call them a name, right? Because, but get your comments coming in. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight, and hopefully we'll be joined by Regan soon as well to chew over the bones. Phil, Graham, I said to you before we come on there, it's the first time I think we've done a show and all three Scottish teams are undefeated.
It's been a good week for Scottish teams in European football, isn't it? Really good results, and and all teams have kept clean sheets as well, which is quite an impressive statement as well. Yeah, really, really good. Hearts, I know we'll get to that shortly, but Hearts brilliant tonight, first half. Rangers, everything they weren't against Kilmarnock, they were tonight. Far, far better, far more energy, far more hunger, and a very comfortable night for Rangers tonight.
I think they needed that performance, Graham, but also that victory as well to get the fans something to cheer about after the disappointing of Sunday at Rugby Park.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on them tonight going at this game. I think a lot of pressure on Philip Clement, and Rangers did the business. They were very good tonight. Tom Lawrence getting that first goal, really good finish as well, and they dominated the game, absolutely dominated the game, and it could have been more. They were maybe. I know there was thought about the first goal that Stoud Bucharest might have got, but I think it was a foul on Jack Butland. He got away with that one, though. But yeah, after that, Rangers were in complete control. And Czerny was superb tonight. By far his best performance of the Rangers shirt. 2 very, very good goals, especially the second one. Igamani comes on, gets his first goal, another good finish as well. So yeah, plenty of positives to Rangers tonight. And they had to do that tonight because Sunday was not acceptable. They know that. It was a big, big result and a really good performance as well.
Yeah, the whole team played well as well. Got Kazega gave me to Leo. He's watching on YouTube. He says, "Yeah, that's more like it. 4-0 win tonight for Rangers." So we'll go on to the Hearts game in a wee bit because I know that you're itching to talk about that brilliant display, and it could have been 4-0 actually for the Hearts, but 3 points is 3 points, Graham. I don't think you'll care. A win's a win, and I think people coming to Ibrox will be quite happy, quite relieved from that game, because when they left Rugby Park on Sunday, I don't know if they wanted to go into a big European game in first night, and I don't know what they were expecting, but they turned up and their team played well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I don't think anyone knew what to expect. We were asked before in the previous show tonight what we thought was going to happen. I don't think anyone knew. I thought Rangers might win, but I didn't think it'd be as comfortable as that. And they got a performance tonight. They had to. I thought Rangers looked up for it right for the start, and none more so than Czerny. He was everywhere. Really good performance. Connor Barron, excellent tonight. Defensively, I didn't think Rangers were overly tested. There was a couple of free kicks late in the game, but no real test for the goalkeeper. And yeah, it was just a far, far better performance for Rangers tonight. And they had to get that. They've got big games to come up. I think the fact it was at Ibrox tonight actually did them a favour. But like I said, I think getting that first goal from Tom Lawrence was massive. That just set them on the way. And they were so, so comfortable. And it also helps when you've got players off the bench that make a difference. You know, Igamani comes on and gets a really good goal. Good for him as well. They were just so much better tonight after Sunday. That was a huge, huge letdown for them and their fans, but that's a far more positive performance tonight.
Yeah, you were saying Jack Butland was very quiet tonight, but in there they got himself into soapy bubble at the beginning of the game, and it was a lucky man, Graham, because I don't think that was a foul.
Yeah, I think it looked a bit fortunate, but you actually watched the replay and he was actually fouled. So it's actually a good spot for the referee. But you just wonder though if that had gone in and they gone 1-0 down, you wonder how the crowd might have reacted. But it didn't go in. They got maybe a bit fortunate, but yeah, they were after that. They were so impressive tonight. I mean, you can only put what's put in front of you. I thought Bucharest were pretty poor, if I'm going to be honest. But the way Rangers have been playing, they needed that tonight, and 4 goals. And I keep going back to the fact that Cherny just looked a completely different player tonight. That's the quality he's got. You know, that second goal was a really, really good goal. And he'll take a lot of confidence from that. I think the only probably downside was obviously Dessers going off and going straight down the tunnel. I think he picked up a knock, so I don't know how bad that is. But yeah, very, very good from Rangers tonight. And they'll have to take that performance on. You know, they can't let that standard slip now.
I would say, and I said it when the last European game that we did when Andy was on as well, and I think a lot of Rangers fans look past Tom Lawrence because he scattered the goals tonight, and I thought he played well, Graham.
I think Lawrence is a good player. He's got a lot of quality, and he's capable of a finish like he did tonight. It was a really good goal. You can maybe look at the goalkeeper and I think, could he do better? But you've got to praise Tom Lawrence. It's a really good finish. He knew what he wanted to do, and he tucks it away well. And I think he's been one of the positives for me the last few weeks for Rangers. I think he's a really good footballer. I like watching him play. And yeah, he was excellent tonight and took his goal very well.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then Raskin got the second goal. Yeah, he's another one that he goes about his business very quietly, but you know, the fans don't kind of say he's a good player, but no, I mean he scored a goal tonight.
Funny, I was asking Andy about Raskin the last time he was on, and like what Rangers fans thought of him, and he wasn't like, he didn't think he was particularly brilliant, but I thought he was far better tonight. And again, I just think Rangers had a bit more balance about them tonight. They looked far better in possession, which they weren't against Kilmarnock. So yeah, I think Raskin was far better tonight. But you could look at the whole Rangers team and just think there was so much better performances tonight after Sunday, and they needed that because Sunday was such a poor result performance. You did wonder, you know, could they spark it tonight? They have, but like I keep saying, they've got to build on that going forward. They've got big games to come. But that's a far better result for them tonight.
And I think as well, Graham, that you know, they put on a brilliant performance tonight. But you know, 1-0's okay, 2-0's fine, but 4-0, you know, coming off of a bad day at the office at Rugby Park, that Plasket Park, and then to go from that to a big European game at Ibrox. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think like the home advantage can help Rangers tonight, because the last thing that they wanted to do is get beaten Sunday and head away to a blog tonight.
Yeah, definitely having the game at home was far better. You know, if they'd been away to Romania, having to travel after Sunday would have been, you just wonder how they got on. But tonight, I think, yes, winning the game is important, but I think performance-wise was what they wanted as well. Rangers fans going to that game tonight, they wanted to see a reaction. And I think they'll come away tonight thinking, well, we've got that now, but you've now got to carry that on for the rest of the season. You know, they've got games to come against St Mirren at home at the weekend, which I think they probably should be winning, the way St Mirren are playing. And they've got a massive game against Aberdeen next week.
I think the last time, am I not right in saying the last time they went there, I think Mirren were 2-0 up at one point?
Yeah. I mean, it's a game that I think Rangers should win, given, you know, St Mirren were great against Hearts at the weekend, but Hearts did play well. So you'd expect Rangers to win that, but then they've got that massive game against Aberdeen next week. I mean, that could be a huge game. So they know they've got big games to come, but they had to get over this game tonight. And I think, you know, to score 4 goals, 4 really well taken goals as well, to be fair, to score 4 goals and put a performance like that was so much more improved. But it had to be, because Sunday was such a poor performance. You have to give credit to Kilmarnock, of course, but Rangers going there, you'd expect to win that game and have a performance, but didn't happen. But tonight it was so much better.
Talk to me about Cherney, because he was up for the game, because I think it was in the first half that he won a tackle over at the byline. I can't remember if I'm right there. And he basically kind of said to the fans, come on, you know, and then obviously he's going to get a few goals tonight, you know.
Yeah, he looked like a man possessed tonight. It was just fantastic. And, you know, putting those tackles, and that's what Rangers fans, that's what every fan wants to see. You want to see your team putting a performance like that, showing that you're up for the fight and up for the battle, and he was. And it did get the crowd up. You know, just doing something like that, it sounds quite simple, but just making a challenge like that does get the crowd up and get them on side. And he was exceptional tonight. Really good performance. And that second goal, it's a really good move actually from Rangers. Starts in their own half, and it's a really good finish as well. So that'll give him a lot of confidence. I think Cheney's a really good player. Again, I've said that to Andy before. He's a good player, maybe not quite shown it yet, but tonight he was excellent. And yeah, that will definitely help him as well.
We always talk about the bench on the show as well, and in terms of like the strength and depth of the bench, and we always kind of put Celtic and Rangers into one sentence. I don't know why, but we seem to do that. And we talk about the bench, but I thought the Rangers bench was actually quite strong tonight in terms of Diamandi coming on the park as well.
Yeah, again, I like Diamandi. I think he's got something about him in that midfield. He's a really good player. And yeah, Igamani coming on again, maybe at a point to prove as a young laddie, but comes on, gets his goal, did a lot of good work tonight when he came on. And yeah, they did look really good tonight. Casemiro again, who I think is a really good player as well. So yeah, they did have a lot of strength and depth on the bench tonight, and you need that. And I think it does help the fact that you're winning quite comfortably. You know, you can make these changes and it doesn't really make too much of a difference. So yeah, the bench tonight was far, far stronger. Like I say, the only probably negative is Desser's gone off injured, and he didn't look happy when he went off. But you can't take away from Rangers' performance tonight. They were far, far better than they've been for the last few weeks, I think.
And I forgot to mention, Glenn, one of the subs that came on was Lovelow. Apparently, I don't know if you heard during commentary, but Clement said this yesterday at his press conference that he was at the under 19th game. I think it was Tuesday night, was it? And he basically told them to get him off because he saw enough for him to make the bench tonight.
Yeah, and again, it's like we're talking about the fact, you know, giving young players a chance and to play them in a European game. As I said, it does help the fact that Rangers are winning the game. You know, would that have been the same thing if they were getting beat? Possibly not. But it did help the fact they were quite comfortable. The game was won. You can bring him on. He can sample the atmosphere. And it was great for Lovelace to get on and, you know, I actually showed a few nice touches. He got a bit of pace about him. And he'll take a lot of confidence in that as well. The fact that the manager believes him enough to not only stick him on the bench, but bring him on in a European game. So fair play to Clement for doing that.
Do you think that Clement could afford to maybe start him on Sunday against St Mirren because they're at home?
Possibly. He might look to freshen it up after tonight. And, you know, Jack Lovelace, I don't think he'll do anything wrong if he plays. They've also got, I think, Ross McCausland does well on there. He never got on. So,
no, he never. No.
You know, they do have a couple of decent youngsters in that squad. And it might be a case of freshening it up. And again, the fact they're at home against the St Mirren side that are not in very good form just now, although they have just given Robertson a new contract. But it's a game that I expect just to win. And if Lovelace was to play, I think he would do a decent enough job.
Second half, Graham Tavernier, as well, you know what you're going to get with your captain. He got a few shots on goal. And then, you know, Cherney, and as I said, the sub coming on from Rangers, Diamandi. And so, yeah, I mean, it's the first game I think you could say that the Rangers subs came on and maybe not change the game, because I don't think there was nothing to change there, but maybe adding to the scoring tally.
Yeah, and they did. They did look up for it when they came on. They maybe have got a point to prove. I think like everybody had after Sunday, because they were so poor.
Yep.
I think everybody coming out of that park had a point to prove. And of course, it does help the fact that you are winning the game and you are comfortable. I didn't really think Steaua Bucharest offered too much of a threat going forward.
No.
I can't really think of a save that Jack Butland had to make, but you can only beat what's put in front of you. And Rangers did that very, very comfortably today. And when you're making subs, you're making the subs to have a bit of freshness. And they did do that, but they were very comfortable. I thought Steaua Bucharest were pretty poor. I didn't really see a lot from them tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking Jack Butland had a save to make, and I don't think he did, because there was a couple of free kicks, but they were wide and over the bar and stuff like that. So I don't. In fact, it would be interesting to see if Jack Butland touched the ball even once, apart from that mistake at the beginning of the game, because I don't think he had anything to do.
No, and I think Rangers defensively looked a lot more comfortable. They weren't great against Kilmarnock on Sunday defensively, but then they weren't great at all over the park. But defensively, they were pretty solid tonight. They didn't really have a lot to do. I thought Jeffy looked decent again today. There was a lot of positives in Rangers to take, but they have to now build on that. That can't be one of these games that, right, they won 4-0 today. You can't then get beat on Saturday or Sunday. You have to then go out and win the game. So yeah, it's a big result for Rangers, a decent European night. They've got big games to come though, because they do have Tottenham and they do have Man United in this group, which is not going to be easy. So yeah, they've got big games to come, but that's a big boost on them tonight.
Yeah, because I mean every game's big for Rangers, even if they were playing Raith Rovers at the weekend. No disrespect to Raith Rovers, but I mean, looking at the fixtures they've got coming up to them. They've got St Mirren on Sunday, and then they go up to Aberdeen on Wednesday, and then next Sunday it's a big semi-final against Motherwell, and then they're away to Olympiacos in the next game of the Europa Cup.
Yeah, big games, really big games to come, and I think that Aberdeen game next week is going to be huge, because assuming, like I think they probably will, that Aberdeen win on Saturday, then they'll just Aberdeen go further ahead of Rangers, so it's going to be massive games to come up. And they have to take that performance on tonight. And again, the fact that at home on Sunday, I think will help, because St Mirren have not been particularly great recently. So that should probably give them 3 points, but they have to perform like that tonight. And I think, performances like Czerny tonight, like I keep going back to, he was fantastic tonight. That's by far his best performance of the Rangers shirt since he signed. He needs to keep that going now. It can't be a one game and then right back to normal again. They've got to play like that. They've got to play like that all the time. And I think after the last home European game against Lyon, where Rangers got absolutely hammered, again, I think tonight was a massive, massive game for them tonight. They had to not only win, but put in a performance tonight. And they've done both of those. And that should take a bit of pressure off Philip Clement, because I think he has been under a lot of pressure after Sunday. That should take a bit of pressure off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you think the fans will lay off his back for the time being?
Well, until the next defeat. I think I just think performance tonight, I keep saying it, I know that the win is important, but I think performance was needed after Sunday, and they did get that tonight. There was a lot of good performance all over the park. I thought Connor Barron was really good again tonight. So they have shown that they can perform. They've just not done it often enough. And I know that you've said before about, Rangers putting a 90-minute performance on. I think they did tonight.
Yeah,
for the first time. I think they did tonight for the first time in a while. So yeah, that will definitely take a bit of pressure off. But it's one of these football, as the cliche goes, football's a funny old game. If they were to get beat on Sunday, then it's go back to normal again. So it's just a case of win and keep on winning, and that's what Rangers have got to do.
I think one man that doesn't get a lot of credit, and you might not like him because he's not Hearts anymore, is John Souttar. I thought he had a kind of comfortable game tonight. And also he's in the Scotland squad as well, Grim.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's left Hearts, I still like him. He's a top-class defender when he's fully fit. I think now the fact he's fully fit and he's getting a run of games, he's a fantastic player. He was caught out on Sunday for the goal that Marley Watkins scored, but tonight he was pretty much, he didn't have to do very much defending, to be honest, but he's so good on the ball. He's so comfortable on the ball, and he can pass the ball as well. You know, he's one of these ball-playing centre-backs, and he's a really good player, but tonight he didn't have a lot to do defensively. But he'll have harder games to come, and he'll know that himself. Tonight was pretty comfortable, but Shooter is a very, very good footballer. There's no debate about that.
No, exactly. I mean, same with Hearts, but that we're going to move on to speak about soon, and same with Celtic as well. But obviously, when you come up against that caliber in Europe, if they're the best team or the worst team, it doesn't matter. You still got to beat them. But I thought, to a man, Rangers were brilliant tonight, and you know, it's all right saying, and obviously when we talk about this game, we always say about the 11 men on the park, but it's actually like the 14 men, basically like the subs coming on as well.
Yeah, and I think too many times over the years I've seen Scottish clubs like my own who go out in these games and European games and don't win the games they should win. Hearts have managed to get a win tonight. Rangers have got a win tonight. And what it does as well is it raises the coefficient, which we always talk about. And the fact that Celtic got a really good result on Tuesday, Hearts have won tonight, Rangers have won tonight, it just raises that coefficient. And every Rangers player to a man tonight, well, some of them, because otherwise didn't have a lot to do, i.e. Jack Butland, did very well. You know, I think they were talking about man of the match tonight. I'd have to give it to Czerny. You know, 2 goals, a really good performance. I think Czerny was easily man of the match tonight. But you could look at the midfield, like I said, Connor Barron was really good. You could look at quite a few of the players, but I think Czerny tonight was... Yeah, I think Czerny tonight was excellent.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Chefty. He had a good game as well, I thought.
Yeah, Chefty was really good as well, but I think you've got to give it to Czerny, who really was.
Yeah,
he was a big difference tonight. You know, I don't think Bucharest could handle him. His movement, his pace, and his finish, fantastic for that second goal. Such a good finish for his second goal.
And it's quite funny, actually, Glenn, because when the teams were coming out of Ibrox, I thought, Rangers are going to be tested here, because I don't know about you, but I mean, I felt all the players were about 6 foot in that team.
I look like the Harlem Globetrotters, to be honest, but they didn't play like that. But I think
funny. It's funny that, like, I was just going to say, it's funny how big teams. I mean, look at Livingston last season. I mean, they had like players like 9 feet, but they hardly won the game.
I know. I mean, I think, again, I keep going back to the fact that first few minutes, if Stewart got that goal with Jack Butland's error, you know, could things have been different? But it didn't. Rangers managed to get the job done, and very, very comfortably, but they have to carry that on now because they do have a lot of big games to come. Philip Clement will know that as well. He'll be happy tonight. Rangers fans will be happy tonight, but you've got to build on that now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in having a good performance and then Sunday go out the way that they performed against Camargue, because it's going to be like Greenwood. The fans are going to be in Clamont's back as well, you know. Especially after that, you've got another 2 big games going up to Aberdeen and away to Hampden for the semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, after European games, it's always really difficult, you know, to try and not to motivate yourself, but you put so much effort in the European game on a Thursday to then play on a Sunday. But that's where Rangers have got a squad. You know, that's where teams like Celtic have got a squad to deal with that. So it should be a case that Rangers can freshen it up on Sunday, make 3 or 4 changes and still be good enough to beat St Mirren. But it will be a test. You know, St Mirren have not been great, but at some point they will have to bounce back. So yeah, it will be a test for Rangers, but I'd expect them to win on Sunday.
A lot of when we talk about Rangers on the show again, that I make a case for Tom Lawrence, because again he scored a goal tonight, and I thought he played well. But another man, it goes about his business very well, and maybe Aberdeen fans are a bit shocked with this statement I'm going to say. But Connor Barron, he goes about his business quietly, but he does it well.
Yeah, and he's the one that really deserves the credit for the goal that Ugamani scored, because it's his pressing that wins the ball back and lays it on a plate for him. I think Barron's a really good player. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves, to be honest. Again, when he signed for Rangers, there was a lot of question marks. Could he make the step up? I think he's shown he has. I think he's been very good for Rangers so far. He's a little terror in that midfield. He gets stuck in, doesn't shirk a challenge. He's good on the ball. I think Connor Barron's a really good player. Now, whether he can break into that Scotland squad, difficult, because the strongest part of Scotland's team is the midfield. But he'll be knocking on the door if he keeps playing like he did tonight, because I thought he was very, very good tonight.
And I think as well that only European games will help him as well. I mean, domestically, it's going to help him, but let's face it, Glenn, when you play in Europe, you're going up a few levels, so it's going to help him as well.
It is, and I think he's shown that he can, he can compete at this level. He looked really good tonight. He didn't look out of place at all. I mean, he's obviously not the biggest, but he just keeps things simple, keeps it ticking along, and he's got a real desire and a work rate. That's what fans want to see. They want to see players working hard, and he does that. And he's got ability as well on the ball. And like I said, he's the one that makes the goal for Igamani. So yeah, I think Connor Barron is a really, really good footballer, and I think he will only get better as well. He's still young. We've got to remember that he's still a young laddie as well.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. Yeah, but I mean, it is a good night for Rangers as well to get a good performance and 4 good goals as well. I mean, say what you want about the team that they were up against, but I said to you before we come on air, you can only beat who's in front of you.
Yeah, and they did that. And I think they probably could have scored a couple more, to be honest. I said it before, I didn't think Bucharest were great, but it doesn't matter. It's about what you do, and Rangers were very impressive tonight. And I think they can take a lot of heart from that, because there was pressure going into this game, because Sunday was such a poor result performance. A lot of Rangers fans were wondering what we're going to see tonight. And they saw a really good performance and four really good goals as well. The goals they took were very good. So yeah, they'll take a lot of confidence from that, but they have to build on it. Yeah,
no, exactly. So get your comments coming in if you're just coming out of Ibrox, so maybe you watch the game in the house. 4-0 win for Rangers against FCSB, and the next game in Europe for Rangers is away to Olympiacos in a few weeks' time. 2 weeks' time, actually, Graham. But again, that's going to be another level because you're going away from home, but also they're a good team like that Rangers are going to be up against.
Yeah, Greek teams are very physical. They're not too bad on the ball, so it'll be a test for Rangers. But again, it's a game that Rangers will go out and thinking, we can win this game. On the back of tonight, it's a game that we're looking to try and win. It will be a test. I think there'll be a better side than what Bucharest were tonight. So yeah, it will be a test, but I think if Rangers play like they can, like they did tonight, they'll fancy it. But like I said, with the games we've got coming up, though, against the likes of Rangers, Man United and Tottenham, the more points they get on the board, the easier it'll be for them to qualify. I don't know how many points it will take for them to get out of this Europa League. But yeah, it'll be a tough test, but it's a game they should be looking forward to, I think.
There we go. So 4-0 win for Rangers tonight in the in the Europa League, and they go into match day 4 with confident that they can get a result. Graham's very confident tonight because this team won by 2 goals out against Nicosia at Tynecastle. It seems like hours ago that game was, but it was only about 4 hours ago. 4:45 kickoff. 2 wins out of 2, 6 points. Graham, you can't argue with that.
No, it's been a great start. Absolutely fantastic start. And I thought Hearts were superb first half tonight. Really, really good performance. I thought we pressed over the park. Thought we started the game really well. Really a lot of energy, a lot of hunger, a lot of desire. I thought the changes that Crouchley made worked really well. And I thought we were fantastic right for start. The first half was easily the best first half I've seen from Hearts for a while. I thought we were outstanding tonight, and none more so than Blair Spittle. He showed exactly why Hearts signed him. I will never understand why Stephen Naismith played him as a central defensive midfielder when he's not a CDM. He's an attacking midfielder, and he's now got 3 goals in 3 games on what a finish for the second goal. I said it on the show, at the previous show, about Alan Forrest being underrated, and he scores.
And you were right, yeah.
Great finish as well. Really, really good finish. And I thought all over the park, Hearts were outstanding first half. Second half was a bit of a non-event. Nothing really happened, but I can understand that. Intensity dropped a little bit. A bit like Bucharest, I didn't think Omonia were great, but you can only be what's put in front of you. And I thought first half, Hearts were superb.
So Hearts are going to that's one green and white team they beat this week. Let's hope maybe they'll beat another green and white team on Sunday. I think Graham knows what I'm talking about. He's laughing there as well. Yeah, I mean, Graham, this must be the first week we've done the show together, and all the Scottish teams has got a good result, but everybody in the team played well tonight, and again that was the same for Hearts as well. I mean, but first of all, before we pick the bones out that game, you've got to Craig Gordon. Is he 42 before Christmas? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't. A bit like Jack Butland, didn't have a lot to do. But it's just great to see him there. You know, he brings that level of calmness, that level of maturity to the team. He's got the experience. He knows what European nights are like. And he leads by example. You know, he didn't really have a lot to do tonight. I think one thing about Craig Gordon, his kicking has never been fantastic, but he had a couple of really good throw-outs tonight as well that nearly led to chances. So he's a consummate professional. You know, to come back from a double leg break and still be playing at this level, I think is absolutely fantastic. So you've got to give him credit. He really is such a top class goalkeeper.
And that would be 2 years. 2 years this Christmas? He broke his leg.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of folk probably thought, and I think I thought it as well. As soon as you saw that at Tannadice when he broke his leg, you think that
was horrible.
His career's done. To come back from that and still be playing now is just, it shows how good a professional he is. Because a lot of folk might have thought, you know what, that's me done. But not Craig Gordon. He wants to keep on playing. And you have to respect that. I've said it before, for me, he's the best keeper I've seen at Hearts. And I was brought up with Henry Smith in the 80s, who was a really good goalkeeper. Gilles Rousset, Anthony Emme. I've seen a lot of good goalkeepers, but Craig Gordon has been just exceptional.
Okay. That's a Glasgow. Actually, I thought Emme was a good goalkeeper as well
He was a good goalkeeper, but Craig Gordon's just another level for me.
Yeah. Again, a special mention to him because he's a special goalkeeper. Now he's back. Somehow he managed to get back in the Scotland squad as well. So it's unbelievable.
Again, that's another thing as well. When Angus Gunn dropped out, you think, right, who's going to be number one now? And I kind of thought when I saw the goalkeepers that were there, like John McCracken and that, I thought, it's surely got to be Craig Gordon. And if you look at the game against Portugal, the save he makes from Ronaldo, it's a great save. He's still a really good goalkeeper. I said weeks ago that I think for me, Xander Clark's probably number one, but Craig Gordon's kept the jersey. And I think he does deserve it because he has been very, very impressive. Like I say, he wasn't overly tested tonight, but it's just that experience he brings, that level of calmness to the back line. And yeah, he's just, what a goalkeeper he's been.
It's funny because he came on at Hampden with 5 minutes to go in a friendly before we went to the Euros, and everybody was like, that's Craig Gordon, farewell. And then he's back in the Scotland squad.
Yeah, it seemed quite strange that, because it's like, why are you bringing him on? I think everybody thought, right, this is his farewell hurrah. It clearly wasn't. I mean, Steve Clark had said the door's still open for him, but it's not just open; it's fully open. He's back in the Scotland squad, and I mean, I'm sure when Angus Gunn comes back to fitness, he'll be number one. But I mean, for Craig Gordon to be starting again for Scotland after that bizarre moment, it just seems strange that I don't understand why they did that.
I don't get to see Hearts every week like you, Graham, owning the highlights package and all that. But I was quite impressed with, well, obviously the whole team tonight, but one man that stood out to me was Forrest. I thought he played well.
Yeah, Adam Forrest is a really good player. I spoke about it on the previous show. You know, a young laddie that came in under Liam Fox. Fox knows him from the B team, and fair play to Critchley. You know, he made a couple of changes tonight. He made 4 changes, and Forrester, I thought, did very well. And he was up against a really good wide player as well, but he dealt with him very well, got forward as well. He's got a lot of energy, and it was no surprise he got taken off in the second half because I think he was knackered. But yeah, Forrester is such an impressive player. And I keep talking about all the time about the fact that, you know, give youngsters a chance. They will show you what they can do. And I thought Forrester was excellent again tonight.
Yeah, no, and Shanklin was back to his best. I mean, maybe some Heart fans were thinking, well, hopefully Naismith was watching that game, because that's what you get when Shanklin plays, scores goals, and you never know. You could be top 6 at the moment if he was playing every week.
He was a little bit unfortunate to get a couple of goals in the first half. He had a really good effort, a brilliant save from the goalkeeper. He caused a lot of problems. I was a bit worried early on because he got booked in about the first 2 minutes for a high foot, which I didn't think was a booking, to be honest. But then an Omonia player did it in the second half and they get a second yellow card for it. So I don't know the rules these days. But yeah, Shanklin looked far better today, far more up for it. I thought his link-up play was really, really good. His hold-up play was really good. And on another day, he's getting a couple of goals in that first half. He did everything but score. But yeah, Shanklin looked far better today. And hopefully he'll maybe bag a couple of goals on Sunday.
Maybe I don't know about you, but I thought the ref thought it was going to the Egg of the Festival doing a show, because it was getting involved in the game when they didn't have to get involved.
I honestly can't stand referees like that want to be centre of attention. There was no need for half the stuff. There was no need for half the stuff he blew up with. It wasn't a dirty game, but he was flashing at cars like confetti. There was no need for half this. He booked Craig Gordon in like the 54th minute. And I don't know why. It wasn't like he was time wasting. How are you time wasting with 54 minutes? I just thought some of his decisions were really, really strange tonight. And like I said, an Omonia player got booked. He then did a high foot like Shanklin did, but didn't get a second booking for it. Honestly, I thought he tried to make it about him tonight, and there was no need, because it wasn't that type of game. The second half got very scrappy, but that was the referee that did that, I think. It was unnecessary.
The first goal was well worked as well, but as you were saying, the Spittle, I mean, he's turning into a brilliant player as well. I mean, I always liked him when he was at Marvel and Dundee United as well, but he had the shot. It was a good kind of save. I can't remember if the keeper knew much about it, but Adam Forrest, that was a brilliant strike.
Yeah, I said it before. I mean, Alan Forrest is very underrated and underappreciated. What a finish it was. You know, he just absolutely thundered that past the keeper, who I think you could have had 3 keepers they wouldn't have saved that. It was such a good strike. And it gave us a really good start. And we started the game really well. That's the last 2 games that under Critchley now, Hearts have started well. And it's something that I've spoken about numerous times, is the fact that we don't start games quickly enough. But the last 2 games, we have started the game far, far better. And 2 early goals as well, Saturday and today. And I thought Forrest was really good. But yeah, really, really impressed. And what I liked as well after the game was Critchley's press conference as well, where he spoke about the fact that, you know, it's Tynecastle. You play by our rules. If you come into Tynecastle, it's about what we do. And I liked the way he talked. And as well, he talked about Adam Forrester. Such high praise for Forrester, and rightly so. And that'll only help Forrester. If you've got a manager that believes in you, then that really does make a massive difference. And I think you can see after just a couple of training sessions what Critchley's done. Blair Spittle was interviewed after the game, and he was asked about what Critchley's done so far. And Spittle said he's not overcomplicated things. You don't need to overcomplicate things. Just keep things simple, which is why it's difficult to criticise Naismith after the job he did last season. But this season, some of the stuff that he's done in terms of team selection, in terms of system changes, playing Spittle as a CDM, you don't need to overcomplicate things. Critchley's come in and just kept it simple. And lo and behold, it's worked, because we won our last 2 games.
That's what I was going to say, Graham. I know that you mentioned quite a few times the week before Neil Critchley get appointed, and we spoke about it tonight. But do you think if he wins the derby on Sunday, and it's a big if he wins the derby, then do you think he would win over not all the fans, basically half of the fans?
I think it's already started to, based on what I've seen on social media the last couple of days, and especially tonight. I think a lot of Hearts fans are now banning the way he wants to do things and his style of play, and I think the way he talks to the press as well. I think he spoke very well the last couple of games, and as well after the game tonight, he was very, very positive about the players, and I think at times Naismith threw the players under the bus a little bit. Critchley's not done that yet. Now, whatever happens on Sunday, it's a derby game. It's difficult to tell what's going to happen. But the last two games have been very, very positive. Far better. I think the style of football's been far better as well. The last few weeks I've watched some pretty poor performances from Hearts. But tonight it was far, far better. The press was really good. I think I could go through the whole team tonight and talk about how good they were, but I think I have to as well. I have to give a mention for Malachi Boateng. I thought he was brilliant tonight. He covered every blade of grass. He got on the ball. He kept it simple. He dominated that midfield. I thought Boateng was superb again tonight. And again, I hear a lot of Hearts fans and fans of other clubs talking about Cammy Devlin and saying, he doesn't do a lot. Devlin again was brilliant tonight. Honestly, Cammy Devlin does such a good job. And I thought he was great tonight. But Boateng tonight, I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Interesting what you put saying there, Glenn, because I enjoyed watching Hearts tonight. Because it's not the Hearts side we used to see under Naismith and all that. Again, I've not saw them that often, apart from when they play Celtic and Rangers, or if it's on the TV or whatever. But there was a bit of kind of like in your faces about Hearts tonight and the high press, as you say, and that's something that would excite the Hearts fans going forward.
Yeah, that's the big difference I've noticed. I mean, Critchley came in last Tuesday. He's had very few training sessions. And to manage to get that kind of message over already in the space of a few sessions is fantastic. What really impressed me tonight was the pressing. We pressed really high at the park. Spittle went, Shanklin went, Forrest went, Vargas went. We pressed them all over the park. We didn't give them any time. And that's what I want to see us doing at Tynecastle. If teams come to Tynecastle, that's what I want to see us doing. And I think we will hopefully see that a lot at Tynecastle. It'll be away from home that I want to see something different, starting on Sunday, of course. But yeah, the performance last couple of games has been far, far better tempo, far higher press. And the big thing, and I talk about the fact that not overcomplicating things, playing players in the right position and you get the best out of them. As we've seen with Blair Spittle, he's been given that freedom to go and attack, and he's got 3 goals in his last 3 games. He has been fantastic. I know that Stephen loves Blair Spittle, and he was gutted that we signed him. I honestly said at the time I was delighted with it, and that's the reason why. That's what he can do, which is why I don't understand why Naismith played him so deep, because it just stifled him.
And also we spoke about the Hearts performance tonight, but that's without Jan Danda. He came on in the second half as well, Graham. But I mean, there's goals in him. I mean, again, going back to the bench, you had Mackay, you had Grant, you had Macaulay Tate on the bench as well.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think obviously last season a lot of stuff was about the fact that, if Shanklin wasn't scoring goals, who would? Well, we're starting to get that now. Blair Spittle's chipped in with goals. Frankie Kent's got a couple. Obviously, you just mentioned Jan Danda there. We are now getting goals from other players as well, so it's not just Shanklin. Shanklin hasn't quite hit that peak form yet. I hope it'll come at some point. But we're not now relying on Shanklin to score goals. Vargas has chipped in as well. That is a big thing for me. The fact that it's not now just Lawrence Shanklin. We've got other players that can step in. And Blair Spittle, 3 goals in his last 3 games. I think he's our top goal scorer now. He's been given that freedom to go forward. And what I like about Spittle as well, watching him in that first half today, he was constantly looking for the ball. He always wanted the ball. He was always an out ball. And he always looks to play forward. And at times I've criticised Hearts for not having someone that does that. Spittle did that. And like you mentioned, having Jan Danda on the bench, he again has been really good last couple of games. So yeah, we have now got options off the bench. I didn't think George Grant was great when he came on. Barry Mackay didn't really do very much, but he didn't have a lot of time. But yeah, it was a really good performance. Second half wasn't great, but it didn't need to be. They didn't really threaten that much. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with that. But we've got to build, like I say with Rangers, we have to build on it on Sunday because that's a massive, massive game now.
Yeah, I mean, if you mentioned Rangers, Hearts and Rangers both went into the games low in confidence because Hearts shouldn't be the bottom of the table and Rangers basically shouldn't be grumping points away at Kilmarnock. No disrespect to Kilmarnock, but do you think it would be? Do you think it's a big night for both of them, but more so for Hearts as well because the position that then in the bottom of the league and they won the weekend against Midland and won tonight in the Conference League.
Yeah, it definitely was a big night for Hearts. You know, Rangers, I think they will improve, but the big thing for me was about Hearts tonight. You know, could we get another victory? Again, like I said in the previous show, the more we win, the more money we get. That's another money in the bank pocket from that win tonight. And we've got 4 more games left. And I think even 1 point might take us through at even 7 points, but we've got definitely winnable games to come up. So we could be in Europe after Christmas, which would be fantastic for Hearts. But yeah, the big thing for me now is getting away from the bottom of the league, starting on Sunday. You know, yes, it's a derby game. It's a different kind of atmosphere. But if we can win that on the back of winning tonight and on Saturday, that just breeds confidence, which has not been there the last few weeks. You know, I think it's pretty easy to say that it's not been there the last few weeks. I kind of look at the last few games when Liam Fox came in. I thought Aberdeen was a good performance. We should have won the game. And now we've built on that. So yeah, there's a lot more positive signs than we have seen for weeks. But we have to build on that now. And that starts on Sunday. If we win on Sunday and then beat Kilmarnock next Wednesday, then things completely change. And I think we should be looking at climbing the league.
Do you think not? I hope Ross County fans are watching this and maybe doesn't get too upset with me when I say this, but you know, this is just my opinion, and people might have a different opinion. But do you think that because Hearts won tonight so comfortably and going away to, going across the road on Sunday to Easter Road, another high-profile game on Sky, a derby game as well, and basically you want to beat your neighbours. Whereas if Hearts played Ross County and Sunday, they might struggle because it's a different tempo to the game.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point, actually. It probably is a good thing that it's a derby on Sunday. You know, I think I talk about all the time about the fact that playing Thursday, Sunday is very difficult. I think we do have a squad that can cope with that this time. But I think if you were playing Ross County on Sunday on the back of a game like tonight, it might have been a bit flat. You have to be up for it. Then, yeah, I think that might make a massive difference. Easter Road will be busy on Sunday. You know, Hibs have not been great, as we well know. I honestly think if anyone looked at the start of the season, nobody would have said Hearts and Hibs bottom 2 going in October. You'd have looked at maybe St Johnstone or Ross County. I still think it might be that. But yeah, it's a big, big game on Sunday for both teams. If we can win, it takes us a bit of breathing space away from Hibs. But it's a really big game on Sunday. You know, both teams going into this, Hearts a little bit more confident than Hibs, I think. But it's going to be a different atmosphere. I'd rather the game was at Tynecastle, if I'm going to be honest. But Easter Road will be difficult, but it's a game I think Hearts can definitely go there and take something.
It'll be very interesting, the game. Obviously, you'll speak about the game more tomorrow, but it's going to be very interesting, that game on Sunday, because, as we said about Neil Klutz, if he wins the game on Sunday, the fans love him. But it's opposite for Hibs. Hibs get beat, they would want the big layout. So it's going to be interesting and that kind of factor as well.
Yeah, I said on the previous show, I honestly think that if Hearts go there and win, I wouldn't say win comfortably, but just win, I don't think David Gray will be his manager. I think he'll be gone. And again, it's that kind of, we've maybe got a new manager bounce actually after a couple of games. That might not last. But Hibs haven't really had that under David Gray yet, I don't think. They've not really had that. I thought they played well at Ibrox, to be fair. But, you know, that defeat last week must have really hurt. To be 2-1 up, to then lose the game in injury time. They want a performance on Sunday. But, of course, the big thing is winning the game. But I think if we go Easter Road and win, I think David Gray might be sacked. And again, it's another case of Hibs had got the wrong appointment. And I thought that at the time. I thought this job was too early for David Gray. Just because he's a Hibs legend doesn't mean he's going to be a good manager. No. I think they'll be up for it. There's no doubt that David Gray will have them up for it. But do they have enough quality to win the game? And that's the big thing.
And that's a fair point you've made as well, because obviously, I mean, you can be the best player in the world like Henrik Larsson or Messi, but if you become a manager, you might be a Messi manager, and you might not be remembered for that, or he was a brilliant player. All you'll be remembered as, see him, he was a rubbish manager and all that. I was going to say to you as well, Graham, do you think it helps Neil Clitsy to come in where, all right, you've only played 2 games, 2 big games, one in the league, one in Europe, 6 goals in 2 games, basically, if you look at it that way. But does it help does it help him, and does it help the fans for these 2 games to be at home? Because it might be a different story if the 2 games were away from home.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a massive, massive help. And I think the fact that Critchley got such a good reaction on Saturday as well, the fans were behind him right from kickoff, which was good, because it could have been difficult for him because there was a lot of negativity. I know that because I was one of them. But yeah, it definitely did help. And the fact we got off to such a good start on Saturday, winning the game comfortably, winning by 4-0. And again, he's talked about it tonight as well, the fact we've now kept 2 clean sheets as well. Because one thing that we haven't been brilliant so far this season defensively, but I thought we've been very, very solid the last 2 games. Kai Rolls has been fantastic the last couple of games, and I've been quite critical of him recently. So yeah, I think the fact that the 2 games have been at home have been a massive help. And our next 2 games are in Edinburgh as well. We've got Hibs on Sunday, Easter Road, and we've got Kilmarnock at home next week. So we have been in Edinburgh, which is going to be a massive help. When we go away from home, like out of Edinburgh, it might be a different scenario, but we look a lot more confident, we look a lot more balanced. I like the 4-4-2 formation. The players look far more comfortable playing that formation. And it's little things. Like I said, not overcomplicating things. Playing players in the right position where they look comfortable. It's one of the things I just don't understand with Naismith, why he kept trying to change things that didn't need to be changed. It's like we drew a Rangers opening game of the season, and I thought, yeah, that's quite positive. And I thought all Hearts fans are quite positive, thinking we could have a good season. The next week against Dundee, he makes 3 changes and changes his system. And I thought, what are you doing? There was no need to change it. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. And that's what Neil Critchley's done. And it's worked.
And then the Falkirk game, he made 8 changes or something, was it? And then the week before, he get beat for Dundee. Basically, he cost himself his job, nobody else. Like he made the... you could point out players and all that, the way that they line up and all that, but he can like cost it as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the Hearts team tonight, Glenn, very strong. Again, I know the game's not playing in paper. Cammy Devlin is another good player for Hearts.
I really like Devlin. He gets a lot of stick from not just Hearts fans, but fans of other clubs, saying he's not got a lot of ability. I think it's very harsh. I think Devlin does a really good job. Again, a bit like Connor Barron, like I said earlier, his energy, his work rate, his desire, he gets around the pitch. He never stops. And he's a really good player as well. He's sometimes he's maybe not the best on the ball, but what he brings is that energy and that desire, and his work rate tonight, along with Boateng. I thought they were both fantastic tonight. And yeah, you need someone like Cammy Devlin in there with that energy, and he never stops. His work rate is so good. And I thought he typified the Hearts' performance in the first half tonight. Honestly, that first half, like I said, is the best I've seen Hearts play for a while. We were all over them. And it could have been, but for the goalkeeper and but for a few poor misses in the end from Hearts, that could have been 5 or 6 in that first half. We were so comfortable. And I was really pleased with what I saw. But yeah, Cammy Devlin, I really like him. I think he goes underrated at times. A bit like Forrest.
I'm not going to tempt fate, Glenn, but it'll be brilliant to do a show in February when all the teams are still in Europe. Touchwood.
Oh, it would. When Hearts are on the way to winning the Conference League, it'd be fantastic. Yeah, it would be. And we've got a chance. 9 points might be enough. 7 might be enough. if we get 1 point, 7 points with 3 games to go, I think we can easily look forward to a playoff run. So yeah, I'm really pleased with Hearts' start to the Conference League. When the draw was made, I thought we've got winnable games here. One of them was tonight, and we've won it. Dinamo Minsk wasn't a great performance, but we won the game. So yeah, we are looking very, very good. And to see Hearts, to see the league table with Hearts sitting on 6 points is a very nice feeling. And we've got games we can win coming up. You know, I talk about Petrol Cup, who are at home. That's the game we should be winning because they're a pot 5 team. We're a pot 4 team. That's the game Hearts should win. So yeah, we've got a very good chance to get through. And it would be fantastic if all Scottish teams are in Europe after Christmas. And what a difference it makes. I keep talking about the coefficient. What a difference it makes. It really does help.
And I know Hearts has been low in confidence over the past couple of weeks because that Naismith lost his job. Klutz has come into the hot seat basically, but I mean 6 goals in 2 games, Graham, that can only help the confidence.
Yeah, and like I say, the fact that Shanklin doesn't got any of them, you know, it does make a massive difference. The fact that other players are scoring goals, and I can't praise Blair Spittle highly enough. You know, 3 goals in his last 3 games. He's such a massive goal threat, and hopefully carries that on. I do think that at some point Shanklin will start to find the net again. He was unlucky tonight. You know, he could have had a couple of goals in that first half. But yeah, it was a very good performance and just far. It's actually nice to see Hearts playing some decent football, because that's been one criticism I've had over the last few weeks, that the football's been very slow build up. It's been side to side, backwards. It's been far, far better the last couple of games. And I hope that continues on Sunday. But then again, I just want to win. Performance doesn't matter, I just want to win.
And I suppose as well that when we're talking about all 3 Scottish clubs picking up points and good performances as well, and maybe you would say it was 3 different performances, because when you look at Celtic's performance in last night, it was more defensive kind of like play. And I know it's only one game and one round of games, and it can go pear-shaped in match day 4. I know that football's a very fickle game sometimes, but it might shut people up down the road in terms of, well, Hearts, Celtic and Rangers, they can compete at any level at Europe.
Yeah, and it's something that's always happened though. You know, the English media and stuff always put down the Scottish game and say it's not good enough. Scottish teams are not good enough in Europe. And I think all 3 Scottish clubs this week have done themselves proud. You know, we talked about the game on Tuesday. Celtic were so much better on Tuesday against Atalanta. Really good defensive performance against a good side. Hearts have got a really good result tonight. Rangers have got a really good result. And it does show that, you know, Scottish clubs can do well in these competitions. And I think Reagan spoke about it earlier. You know, that is the good thing about this new format. It actually does help. You know, the fact you're not playing the same club twice, home and away. You're playing different clubs, teams you could actually get results against. And it does really help. You know, it really has been a really good week for Scottish football. And hopefully, when the next European games come around, that continues. I think every team's got a difficult games to come up, but hopefully that can continue.
What do you think of Hearts in the Conference League? Obviously, it was a bit disappointing how they get out the Europa League, and people said, well, I don't really like the Conference League and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's still European football. I mean, you just have to look at West Ham. What was it, last season or the season before they won it? You know, it doesn't matter what level of European competition you're in. If you win it, it's still... I'll go down in history. You know, it's not good to say Hearts won, but by the way, that competition was a bit poor.
Yeah, Europa League might have been good for a few glamour ties, but we may not have picked up too many points. Conference League, I think, is definitely our level, and we've shown that. We've managed to get 6 points out of 6. I don't think we'd have done that in the Europa League, if I'm going to be brutally honest. So, yeah, I think the Conference League has been really good for Hearts. And like I said, we have games we can still win as well. 4 games to go. 6 points on the board already. It's been a fantastic start, and I think the Conference League is our level. You know, it would have been nice to get Europa League football, maybe get a bit more money, But you know what? You've got more chance of winning games in the Conference League and the Europa League, and we've just shown that because we won our first 2 games.
I don't know how it works in the Conference League. Do you get a goal? Do you get money when you score a goal?
You get money for every win you get.
Oh, everyone, right? Okay, so it's a wee bit different from the Champions League then, because you get a money for every goal that you score in. But I don't know if that's the case for the Conference League.
I think for the 2 wins we've had so far, we've backed about over £650,000 for these 2 games.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant week for Scottish clubs in Europe. Celtic had a draw last night against Atalanta. Now Rangers won tonight by 4 goals to 0 against FC FCB. In fact, just get a proper name, right, guys, when you come back to Scotland, right? Because I'm not very good at my alphabet. And also Hearts won 2-0 tonight against Armenia at Tynecastle. That's for all your comments this week, and we'll be back tomorrow, bulging up to the weekends of games. And yes, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Following Rangers